The rain outside fell like silver needles, stabbing the pavement with a rhythmic persistence. It was one of those cold, gray evenings when the city seemed to shrink under the weight of its own silence. Inside La Vita, one of the most expensive restaurants in town, warmth spilled from golden chandeliers, the scent of garlic butter and truffle oil drifting through the air. Soft jazz played in the background, but beneath the music was an undercurrent of murmured conversations, the clinking of wine glasses, and the subtle laughter of the wealthy. Into this glow stepped a young woman, drenched from head to toe. Her coat clung to her small frame, her hair plastered to her cheeks, and her eyes, dark, tired, yet carrying a spark of determination, scanned the room. She wasn't dressed like the rest of them. No glittering jewelry. No designer handbag. Just an old wool coat and boots that had seen better days. Yet, she stood straight, as though defying the unspoken judgment that immediately filled the air. She approached the nearest empty table. "Excuse me," she said softly to the couple seated there, "is this seat taken?" The man glanced at her with a quick frown, then back to his wine. The woman didn't even look up. "Yes, it is," she replied curtly, her tone making it clear the conversation was over. The young woman moved on, scanning for another seat. At the bar, a group of men in expensive suits chuckled when they saw her approach. One of them gestured vaguely to a stool, only to slide into it himself just as she reached it. "Oh, sorry," he said with a smirk that wasn't sorry at all. "Guess you'll have to stand." She tightened her jaw, ignoring the humiliation, and kept walking. Each rejection cut deeper. Every polite, "No, it's taken," or deliberate turning away was another reminder of how invisible she was to people who thought money made them better. She was just about to give up and leave when she spotted a table near the corner, occupied by only one man. He looked different from the others. No flashy watch, no loud laughter. Just a simple dark sweater, a clean-cut look, and a calm, observing gaze. She hesitated, then stepped forward. "Excuse me, may I sit here?" Before she could brace for another rejection, the man stood. And in one smooth motion, he pulled out the chair for her. "Of course," he said, his voice warm but steady. The act was so unexpected that for a moment she just stood there, blinking. She finally sat down, murmuring a thank you. Around them, a few people glanced their way, some with mild curiosity, others with subtle disdain, as if wondering why he would let her sit there. The man didn't seem to care. He called over the waiter and ordered tea for her, without even asking what she wanted, as if he somehow knew she needed something warm more than anything else. She wrapped her hands around the cup when it arrived, letting the heat seep into her cold fingers. "I appreciate this," she said quietly. "Most people here, well, you saw." The man gave a faint smile. "Yes, I saw. And I've seen it too many times before." She studied him for a moment, sensing something in his tone, something that hinted at more than simple kindness. "Why?" she asked. "Why help me?" His eyes met hers, steady and unreadable. "Because," he said slowly, "I know what it's like to be treated as if you don't belong." The words hung in the air. Outside, the rain intensified, rattling against the glass. Inside, the warmth around that small corner table seemed to grow. But somewhere in the shadows of the restaurant, a man in a tailored navy suit was watching them with sharp, narrowed eyes. And the look he gave wasn't curiosity, it was recognition.